What if I told you that every dollar you've spent on collagen creams and supplements to fight sagging skin has been aimed at the wrong target? For years, the anti-aging industry has drilled one message into our heads: sagging is caused by collagen loss. So we buy the expensive serums, we stir the tasteless powders into our morning coffee, all in a desperate attempt to firm up sagging cheeks and a softening jawline. But what if that's only a tiny piece of the puzzle? What if the real culprit behind jowls and hollow cheeks isn't your skin at all? The untold secret to fighting sagging skin isn't collagen, it's your bones. That's right. We spend all this time and energy trying to fix the drapes, when the real problem is that the very framework of the house is shrinking. Your skin is like a beautiful canvas, but your facial bones are the scaffolding that holds it up, giving it shape and contour. As we age, we experience osteoporosis, not just in our hips and spine, but in our jaw, our cheekbones, and around our eyes. As this bony scaffolding shrinks, recedes, and literally changes shape, the canvas of our skin has nowhere to go but down. This is the hidden structural reason for the most dramatic signs of aging, and it's what we're going to expose today. In this video, we are going to pull back the curtain on this revolutionary concept. We will explore the shocking science of how your facial skeleton changes over the years and how this is the true underlying cause of sagging. But more importantly, I'm going to show you that this is not a lost cause. The solution isn't in a cosmetic surgeon's office or at the bottom of a jar of cream. It's on your plate. It's in your pantry. We are going to uncover the simple, powerful, nutritional strategies to feed your bones, support your facial structure from the inside out, and truly fight sagging skin at its very foundation. Before we dive into this, if you believe in taking control of your health and aging with strength and wisdom, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. We share the kind of deep dive health insights that can truly make a difference in your golden years. And I am so curious to know where our community is watching from today. Are you in the United States, the UK, Australia, or somewhere else in the world? Let me know in the comments below. It's always so wonderful to see how far our message of health and empowerment reaches. Alright, let's begin by addressing the elephant in the room, the great collagen misunderstanding. It's impossible to walk through a health food store or browse online without being bombarded by collagen. And to be fair, there is a kernel of truth there. Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies. It's like the glue that holds everything together, forming a fibrous network in your skin that provides strength and elasticity. Think of it like the rebar in a concrete slab. It gives your skin its resilience. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen starting in our mid-20s. This loss is absolutely responsible for some of the signs of aging. It's why our skin becomes thinner and why fine lines and wrinkles start to appear. So supplementing with collagen isn't a bad idea. It can certainly help with skin texture and hydration. But here is the critical distinction we need to make. Collagen loss explains the fine, crappy texture. It explains the superficial wrinkles. It does not and cannot fully explain the dramatic, large-scale architectural changes that redefine our faces over time. It doesn't explain why our cheeks seem to deflate and slide downwards. It doesn't explain the deep hollowing under our eyes. And it certainly doesn't explain the formation of jowls. To understand that, we have to look deeper, all the way down to the bone. Imagine, your face is a beautiful custom-made tent. The fabric of that tent is your skin. The ropes holding it taut are your facial muscles. But what is giving the tent its shape? What is holding the entire structure up? It's the tent poles. In your face, your bones are those tent poles. They are the scaffolding upon which everything else is draped. Now, what do you think happens to that beautiful tent if the poles themselves begin to get shorter, thinner, and weaker? The fabric, no matter how strong, has lost its support. It has nowhere to go but to slacken, to fold, and to sag. This right here is the untold secret of facial aging. It's not just your skin that ages. Your entire facial skeleton remodels itself, and it begins to shrink. This process is, for all intents and purposes, osteoporosis of the face. We've all heard about osteoporosis in relation to our hips and our spine, but we rarely consider that the very same process is happening to our skull. Groundbreaking studies using 3D facial scanning have confirmed this in stunning detail. Researchers can now compare the skull of a 25-year-old to the skull of a 75-year-old and map the precise changes. And what they found is nothing short of revolutionary. Let's break down what happens area by area. We'll start with the eyes. The bony sockets that hold your eyes, known as the orbits, get wider and taller as we age. The orbital rim, particularly, the lower and inner portion recedes. Think about that. The very bone structure holding your eyeball is expanding and pulling back. This causes the eye to sink slightly backward, creating a hollowed out look. The soft tissues and fat pads around the eye no longer have the same bony shelf to rest on, so they begin to droop, contributing to under eye bags and those deep dark circles. Now let's move down to the mid-face, the area of your cheekbones. Youth is defined by high, full cheekbones. This is because the maxilla, the bone that makes up your upper jaw and cheeks, is projected forward. As we age, this bone loses volume and its angle changes, retracting backward and downward. This causes a double whammy. First, you lose that beautiful high cheekbone projection, leading to a flatter mid-face. Second, all the skin and fat pads that were sitting on top of that bony support now begin their inevitable slide down. This downward cascade of tissue is what creates the most prominent fold on the aging face. The nasolabial fold, that deep line from your nose to your mouth, is not just a wrinkle, it's a sign of a deflating foundation. And finally, we come to the jawline. A sharp, well-defined jawline is a hallmark of youth. But the mandible, or your lower jawbone, is one of the areas most affected by age-related bone loss. Studies show that both the height and the length of the jawbone decrease significantly over time. The chin itself becomes less prominent, as this entire bony framework of the lower face shrinks. The skin that was once stretched tightly over it loses its support. This is the primary structural cause of jowls. It's the reason the skin gathers under the chin, creating that dreaded turkey neck effect. You can use all the skin tightening creams in the world, but you cannot tighten skin that has lost the very frame it was meant to cover. When you see it this way, it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? The changes we see aren't just skin deep, they are skeleton deep. We're not just getting wrinkles. Our entire facial architecture is shifting. It's a profound realization, and I'll admit, it can sound a bit discouraging. But here is the wonderfully empowering part of this story. While we can't stop the process entirely, we have a tremendous amount of influence over the rate and severity of this bone loss. We can fight back. We can support our skin from the skeleton up. If you're finding this information as eye-opening as I did when I first learned it, please take a second to give this video a thumbs up. It's a small click for you, but it truly helps our channel reach and empower more people just like you who are searching for real answers about their health. Thank you for that. So, how do we do it? How do we feed our bones to support our face? The answer is beautifully simple. The very same things that are good for the bones in your body are good for the bones in your face.